What is going on? What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another live session. I know you guys were waiting. We didn't have any technical difficulties today. We are actually live and direct. We have a guest with us today. Her name is Jamaica, and she has a story. She has a story to tell. I know that a lot of you are familiar with the channel. A lot of you are familiar with our social medias. You already know this is what we do. We give and allow folks such as yourself to get a platform to tell their stories because a lot of people do not understand how powerful it is to use their voice, knowing this is one of the most difficult things to have, especially if they've been abused for a long period of time. Jamaica, how you
Right.
doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, 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 good. How you feeling? Are you ready to say what you have to say today?
I think I am. I'm a little nervous because, I never really publicly spoken, but I shared stories with other people a lot. So it's nerve wracking, but it's encouragement to me because I want to share my story to others where they think, things might be discard or hidden in the household or hidden inside yourself. And it's ready to outburst. So let's do this outburst.
I always tell folks, especially the ones that I've already made it a principal step to come here and to talk about the things they've dealt with. The more you're gonna watch that video, you're gonna keep watching it, and then you're gonna realize how powerful it is to use your voice. You're gonna realize you're gonna start asking yourself questions: Why I did not do this sooner? And
Right.
right now, it's okay to feel some type of way. But as I always tell anybody who are trying to share stories like a testimony like yours, is to understand this is your story. You have to be in your skin, get comfortable with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Say what you are ready to say. We are not pushing you, but the more you're able to release, the more you're gonna find yourself healing because of the baggages that's been holding in the back for no reason. Are we clear? You understand what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Let's
Okay.
all let it out.
First question is why today? Why you decided to talk today?
Because to help others mostly because of the stuff I did with it in the past, and I have no I hadn't had that support system when I was younger to express myself to someone that I feel trustworthy of. And
Hmm.
now that I'm older and I'm a mom and I have teenagers and daughters and sons, I, want them to feel comfortable to know that it's okay to come to me because, yeah, you know how they say, we been there and did that.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've been through situations that I had to go through myself in the dark and then stuff come to the light where I've
Hmm.
been through, situation with family members and you have to
Hmm.
keep it in the household. You can't tell anybody else about it. And then
Yeah.
it's where it stays inside you and it hurts so much where you don't achieve in life because you have that back, that back holder, that book bag that's still holding on your back and you can't let it
Hmm.
go. So I want to
Okay.
share my story to kind of like show people that yeah, abuses might be hidden. Abuse might have different ways and faces, either if it's coming through work, if it's coming through the family household, if it's coming through relationship or
Hmm.
sexual or non-sexual, even if it's coming from school of friends that you know how to, control it and how to react to it when it comes to you and how to express yourself to others where it's not deep inside you, more of like, this is going to be a good, I'm going to live my life and you live your life. I live my life to the best. So I came to you when I reached out to you is because I wanted to share to people that I might have a smile on my face, but I'm hurt inside. So
Yeah.
let me
Yeah.
express
Yeah.
it so I can show other people it's okay to express yourself. It really
Yeah.
is. Some people are there to listen, some people are there to help, and some people give
Absolutely.
you advice. It's time to
Absolutely.
let's see if we can accept it.
Absolutely. It's totally fair. You said something as far as other people that are also in the dark, thinking they do not have a voice, especially if they've been dealing with situations like that for the longest. You know, it could be difficult for them to even want to step out and express themselves. When
Right.
when did everything, like when everything started? Give me the beginning, the source of the issues of the abuse.
Um, I want to say it started probably younger. You know, I want to say about 8. About 8. You know, more when you start developing body parts. I want to say
Okay. Okay.
since I am like a middle child, and because I have 2 older brothers and a younger sister and a younger brother, and my
Okay.
mom is a single mom. So, well, yeah, she's a single mom. But you know, at that time we had different guys and stuff, but it was just more of mom leaving us home by herself. Like, you know how moms leave kids at home by themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and we got to watch and defend for ourselves. So we got to listen to our older brother. But you
Yeah.
know how you're supposed to have our older brother to be a protector, to be a provider for us. If mom's not there, you're supposed to look up to the older kin,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's who's supposed to fall back on. This our older
Yeah.
kin, like you're supposed to
Yeah.
trust them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It was harder because my trust wasn't with my older kin. It was
What do you?
more of, we get locked in a room, and the way we got locked in a room was with the door on the outside of the door, and me and my sister got locked in a room until probably mom got home from work.
Okay. So you
So
mean your older brother would lock you in the room with your sister until your mom comes back? And what exactly was going on in the room? Was you guys were just locked, or um what was the issue? I understand this is already bad, but did you tell your mother? Did you express your feelings as far as what's been going on?
and we told our mom got beat up. Like, he literally will punch us in the face. He would literally punch us in the face. Where I don't know, I don't remember as much of why we got locked in a room, but I know one reason is because he used to have girls over. And
Okay.
I'm the big, I'm like the big tattletale. You know,
Okay.
I'm tired, try to tattletale, but I'm a tab. I'm a tail.
Okay.
And when they have girls over, they lock us in a room. And like, if we have to, me and my sister have to clean up, and if we don't clean up, we're he'll punch us or whatever. And I know they used to make us fight each other as Pokemon. Now, we thought it was a funny game, but after a while I started to like it, because when you start putting batteries in the sock and start hitting each other with a sock and a battery, then yeah, it started hurting a little worse.
So
So
mhm. So what you're saying
yeah,
is early on you started with physical abuse. Basically, first of all, you didn't have the voice. Every time your brother would do something to you, you would run to mommy trying to express your feelings, and you get beat up again over the fact that you express your feelings. And on top of that, nobody was paying attention over the abuse that was being done to you by your brother.
no, nobody was paying attention. And plus, I remember one time when I did try to tell my mom while she was at work. He put a knife. I grabbed the phone, and he put a knife to my neck and told me to hang the phone up. And I wasn't trying to hang the phone up, so he pulled the cord out of the wall for I can't call mom, and then hit
What
the phone.
what age? Around what age? What age exactly are we talking about? You were 8. What age was your older brother?
Uh, well, no, because fella 9, and then 10, 10, 10, 9, 10, about 13, 13.
13. So he had complete understanding of what he was doing.
Yes, yeah, because we was kind of raised rough around the edges, around family members, different babysitters.
Mhm.
Like one of my cousins, she was a babysitter, and it was a joke, but it wasn't for me. It was more traumatic because she pretended that somebody killed my brother in a tub. So we start crying erratically. It's like serious stuff like that, and playing house, um, doing stuff that you didn't want to do with family members, and they force you kind of to do it.
What are we talking about? Are we talking about the physical abuse or something more than physical abuse?
Now this will be more like sexual abuse.
Oh,
It's they forced us to suck their penises,
well,
um, and stuff like that.
okay. Within that time, did you try to talk to your dad, your mother, telling them that the babysitting situation is not working because you are being forced to do things that you feel uncomfortable to do?
No, um, well, my dad wasn't there. My dad haven't been in my life since I was 12.
Okay.
Um, but no, because it was like if you told, you would have got kind of beat up by your brothers and your cousins, will probably, and then the moms wouldn't probably believe you of what you say. Like my mom, I could say she probably wouldn't believe of half of this stuff that I'm saying. Like, and she probably won't believe it, but when it's actually in her face and telling her the truth of, hey, this is happening, she probably would punish me more than punish the other people. Most likely, when I was 10, um, this is when the sexual assault came, and my brothers started bundling me, and she caught me in the room. She didn't beat him; she beat me. I got a whooping for things he was doing, and
So
I told
okay,
her like,
you said you were sexually assaulted by your brother,
yeah,
and your mother walked in the room instead of helping you, you got beat up.
yeah, I got the butt whooping. She said, "Cause why you going in the room?" I said, "Well, I was going to the bathroom, and he made me come in. It's like if you don't listen to your brother, you're gonna get beat up by him. So that's
So
what
that,
our minds was thinking.
so you go to mommy, you're gonna get a whooping. You go to basically your brother's there getting ready to beat you up some more. Basically, it was there any family members like that you could have run to or anybody who could have rescued you within that time?
Probably they wouldn't even probably even listen as I tried a couple times, but then I when I was younger, I had a godmom, so she was more Christian, so I went to her house a lot of times just to get away too with my god sister and my godmom until they passed away. When they passed
Oh, wow.
away, then I didn't have nobody, and then I had to be home a lot, and that's when the
Oh,
sexual assault started.
so your first sexual assault basically started with your brother, right?
And then, yep, my brother closed like the door with the closing the door because the next door neighbor behind us, I liked him and he liked his sister. So he locked me and my sister in the room with the boy while he was outside in the front room with his sister. And he locked us in a room where the boy sexually, literally raped me and my sister was in the closet.
Where are those people now? Like the people that we are talking about, are they? Have you ever had that discussion with them? Because for you to sometimes the problem with some of the people that have actually come to the show is that some of the people who they got abused by are not even part of the families. Like they don't get to see them every day. They don't get to be around them every day. Even if they see them once in a while, that thing's still gonna bother them. But for you to be living with the person, you're living in the same house with that person, and after your godmother would no mother was no longer around, how exactly did you cope? Like what what plan you ended up having because at that
Stay
point you're
in
not
church.
saved. Was that?
Stay in church. I stayed in church. I always stayed around church people. I around the same time as the time we was younger, we was going to, like, it was called Kids World,
Okay.
and I stayed with, I'm so friendly, but the 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 kids were counselors. They just so drawn to me, so that was like my comfort person to talk to about stuff, not about stuff in the house, because my mom's always tell me, what stays in the house, what goes in the house stays in the house.
Yeah,
And
unfortunately.
that's what my loyalty was, is whatever goes in the house supposed to stays in the house. So when I went over there, I told them about some of the stuff, but not, I tell them
Everything.
about everything, but not my brother doing sexual assaulting. But I tell them about, oh, I don't like it because I'm the middle child. I get whoopings more.
Mm-hmm.
I was expressing it to them, but as it then we kept moving around a lot. I just kind of
Mm-hmm.
just stayed everywhere I went. I just stayed with people in church. I always go to church. My godmama, she kept me in church, so I just, when she passed, I kind of just like drawn close to church people, and
How
that was
long?
like my closest.
Okay, so okay, from that point, you kept going to church people. Your mom is telling you whatever happens in the house stays in the house. You keep anywhere you move, you're trying to find yourself under church people. How long you had to use that until you became like a teenager and understood that okay, this wasn't the way to live? Because I'm assuming were there even more abuse after the ones that you talked about?
Yeah. The same ones church people I talked about. I I got into a fight when I was in middle school, and I went to JDC, from the school to the fight. After the fight, I went straight to JDC.
Hmm.
Um, and when I got home, I don't know what kind of, it's a cable, I want to say a cable tube kind of thing they use for like putting up cables around the neighborhoods and stuff.
Okay.
It's equipment thing. It's a plastic tube, and it's really long and it's really thick, like cement kind of thing used for construction.
Okay.
And when she picked me up from JDC, she said, "When we get home, I'm whooping your butt."
Who
And
picked
I'm
you up? Your
like,
mother?
"Yes."
Okay.
And that's when we had a stepdad. Then we had a stepfather.
Okay.
That's when my little brother came around.
Okay.
Um, I was probably 12. Yeah, I was 12 or 13, either one. And my mom came and picked me up, said, "When we get home, whoop your butt." I said, "Okay." I was already crying because I knew I was going to get a whooping from fighting. But, I was already crying about that. So, but when she got home, she stressed to me, said, the camp counselor said that you had guys over in my house while I wasn't home, and you had sex in my bed or whatever, and your friend that's your home friend, your girlfriend, she told the church counselor, and the church counselor called my mom and told my mom. So instead of like regular mothers do, grounding, punishing, or either whooping with a belt, she literally grabbed a cable wire pole thingy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really long. I mean, it's like probably like 10 feet. It was 10 feet long.
Wow.
She literally whooped me with that. I can't say that's the first weapon she whooped us with. We got whooped with stitcher cords. We got whooped with, the horse whips that they use for horse. It was a really leather horse whip that my stepdad had. She whooped us with that. She whooped us with kitchen spoons. She whooped us with a lot of stuff that left whelps on our legs. Everybody know the branch off the tree. But this one was a hard one because she whooped me with something that's literally like could have broke my bone.
Yeah.
But all I did was got purple marks, and she with me for a minute. She said if I shouldn't did it in her bed. I should did this and did that. I shouldn't have went to school and fought. And then she was like, Anna, you left with pants and you got shorts on, and she's whipping me while she talking with this big old long pole. Now wondering, I'm like 12, 13, screaming like somebody killing me, and my sister's sitting here watching. So it's not like she's doing it to me by myself. My sisters watch it, so she sees what goes on, and so it's not like I'm lying because my sister, as she think about it, she just know that this is all true because she watched many whoopings that I got, and she just was like, if every time I think about this is what I always, and I tell my mom, I express it to her. She's like, if I think about this, every time I think about it, I'm gonna whoop your butt and come back and turn around and do it again. So she stopped for a minute, walked back out of my room door, she said, oh, I thought about it, came back in the room and went again. And I think that day I had like bruise marks for like a couple days because I was suspended for 10 days. So I had bruise marks and everything on my body, and I probably sat in the closet for like a day and a half.
That's crazy. You sat in the closet a day and a half? What do you mean you sat in the closet? They put you in the closet for a day and a half?
No, I put myself in the
Okay.
closet. It was like mine small area. I was small then, so it's just like
Okay.
I
Yeah, yeah. You
keep
were just, yeah. That's your
my
safe spot.
confinement
That's
spot,
only,
right? My
yeah,
safe spot.
yeah, yeah. I
And
understand.
I went in there. I didn't eat. I've been in there for a day and a half, and then come out. I didn't use no bathroom because I wasn't drinking. It was just more of, I think, depression came and stuff. So I mean, that was the worst thing ever, and that I took it hard because I remember that. And then another time when my brother actually puts intercourse wise, my stepdad found us, and I didn't. He didn't get a whooping. I got a whooping.
So you mean to
And
tell me after everything that happened, there was your brother was sexually abusing you like consistently, like every time throughout the entire process from when you were little all the way to what age? When that actually stopped?
13, my
Wow.
when my stepdad, when that's when my stepdad started speaking out. That's
Okay.
when he kind of he noticed it, and he was, because he didn't notice because he worked a lot doing cable and stuff, but when he noticed, he kind of lashed out on him and not on
Okay.
me. So that his support showed me that I had somebody in the house for me, and then
Okay.
that's when he kind of was the one that I could run to, or that was my backbone. That was taught me how to cook and stuff. I thought was a good-hearted person.
Yeah.
So it was just more of like, I didn't think he would harm me, but it was just, yeah, it was just more of, he was the one I could thought, if anything happened, he was there. Like one time, I was coming from a friend house at like 8 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 13. I was coming from a friend house at 8 o'clock at night, and I'm developed. My body is developed.
Okay.
Um, and I was trying to go to the rec to meet my brother so my brother could walk with me home. But
Hmm.
my brother said he already went home, so I was already kind of scared to walk at nighttime by myself. Cause usually I have my sister, but my sister was at her friend house. So I was walking home, and this guy started kind of riding up on the bike behind me, like sneaky and stuff.
Okay.
So,
Suspicious. Hmm.
oh, go stir, go stir, go stir. Yeah. And then he kind of was like he talked to me, and I thought I knew him. Say, I know you because of this person and that person. So I'm like, okay, the people in the neighborhood, okay. So I was like, talking. He said, I'll be seeing you going to the bus stop. I'll be seeing you, going to the rec center. I'll be seeing you going here and this and that, but I don't want to talk to you to that. He's like, I don't want to talk to you. But he's like, I just want to tell you pretty. So I was like, thank you. So I kept walking, and then he was riding on the side of me. The thing was, he kept trying to grab my butt. And I'm like, no, leave me alone. And he's like, can I get your number? I said, I don't have, my mama and a lot of people call the house phone. So then I think he was like, well, can I get a hug? And I'm like, no. So he got off the bike. He ran up and grabbed me and was like vigilant on my body.
Mm-hmm.
So, as it then I kind of like push, I got brothers, so I kind of like, I know how to push dudes out. So I
Okay.
pushed them, and then I kind of ran to the laundromat because
Mm-hmm.
I figured my brother wasn't at the wreck. So I ran to the laundromat closer to the apartment,
Okay.
and I hid in the laundromat for like probably like 10, 15 minutes
Okay.
until I thought he was gone. So when I thought he was gone, I ran back out, and then he came from somewhere out of the blue and like ran back up on me. And so then that's when I kind of like punched him, and then I just like ran home and told my stepdad first because that was my
Yeah, yeah,
person
that
to
was
go
you.
to.
Yeah, that was for you. Somebody was who would provide you security around that time. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I went to him, and I couldn't. I knew my mama should have fainted and fall out. So when he found out, he first thing he did was hop in his car and try to go look for the guy on the bike. My mom called the police. The police said, I was like, well, he told me he was gonna meet me at my bus stop in the morning, and if he gonna do that, I don't want to go to school.
Yeah, yeah,
And
he
my,
knows
and my
where
mom,
to find you.
right, and my mom in her head, you going to school? So more forced to go to school the next day. My stepdad had a plan of he was gonna sit around the corner across the street at the bus stop,
To
and
watch
my
him
brother.
to see if anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, and my brothers and my older brother wasn't gonna go to school, but they was gonna be there too, where they was gonna be like, I had one big brother acting like he was going to school, and then I had another big brother around the corners. Now these are the two big brothers that I have. So, I had one around the corner, one with me, and my sister and my mom and my stepdad sitting in the car, waiting to see if anybody pull up. So I guess the guy decided to pull up on the bike and was like, "What's up, ma?" And as soon as he said that, my stepdad like kind of clotheslined him off the bike, and he went haywire. Oh, you messing my daughter? You touching my daughter? You watching her?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the police ran up and came and arrested him.
Oh wow.
So that was
At least this time somebody did listen to you to the point where you know nothing crazy happened from everything that you've already dealt with.
yeah.
Okay. Where's your stepdad now? Are you guys still with your mother?
No, they're not together. I guess they haven't been together for like 10 years. I
Okay.
think. Yeah, because about 10 years they haven't been together for about 10 years. He lives in South Florida right now.
Okay.
I kind of, but yeah, he lives South Florida. A little miserable. He's a little lonely. I guess, but he's okay. Old
Okay.
guy.
What's
I
the
don't.
so now that your stepdad become your security level, what's the what happened next?
I guess my stepdad thought he was gonna be the next victim. I mean, the suspect. I guess.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Uh, a lot of family is suspected that me and my stepdad was messing around because of how close we have gotten. As in, he go to the store, I go to the store. Um, he go around the corner, I go around the corner. Um, at that time of like 13, he was staying in a house around the corner from us. And my mom, same house my mom was in, and he just moved around the corner and kind of get a bigger spot because it kind of got full with my little brother coming. But he was around the corner, and I used to be at his house a lot. And everybody used to ask me, "Why are you always at John's house?" I would just be like, then I didn't know. I was just, you know, that's what my security person was. So I'm gonna follow the man who actually listened to me and
Yeah,
show me that I'm here, give me that attention and show me that, somebody actually loved me in this family and I'm not the ugly duckling kind of thing.
I
Cause then it
understand.
was
I
like,
understand.
with brothers and sisters, it's like we fight a lot. We fought when we got older, we fought a lot, we fought a lot against each other. Like me and my sister probably like physically put our hands on each other. Like I beat my sister up for French fries because we got a large fry and we got to share a large fry and you gonna eat all the large fries. So I beat up,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
cause
yeah. There
that's
was
what
a
we
lot of
used to.
pressure. There was a lot of pressure between you guys.
Yeah, we used to that Bruce to reconcile stuff. That's how we used to reconcile our stuff is beat each other up and think it's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Which is
at
nice.
that time, that's what we was, doing. And plus, fighting in the neighborhood with the other girls is, with the other guys. My stepdad and my brother was another saver because at the time my stepdad was in another house, I was also sneaking around with the boy that she said I had sex with in her bed. Um,
Mm.
I was also sneaking around with him outside of the house where one time he punched me in my eye because he was talking, stuff to my sister in school on the bus, coming home from the bus, from school. And he was talking crap to my sister. And you're not going to do that. I mean, if you're talking to me, you're not finna talk stuff to my sister. No, sir. So, I'm talking back with him, like, how kids do, and we like, no, you're not gonna do this, and I'm gonna get my brother on you if you put your hands on me. And he literally punched me in my eye. So
Mm.
when we got home, we told my brother and then my stepdad, I'm gonna go to my stepdad. And, he was like, okay, we got it. So my brother went down the street to fight him. They went down the street to fight. They leave the girls at home.
Yeah,
So
that's a
I
lot.
guess,
There's a lot of fight. There's a lot of fight, a lot of pressure between you guys. Like you can't be. This is the thing. I feel like the entire home was a mess. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be completely honest, the entire home was a mess, and the only person you felt secure with was the stepdad, whom you basically trying to find yourself be around more, and people started speculating things as far as saying that you probably were doing. But the question that I also want to ask you is, were you being taken advantage of between you and your stepdad? Was there really a story or not? Or if you don't want to talk about it, that's totally up to you as well.
hmm,
Mm,
I, I want to say probably the
mm.
first couple, the first couple times.
Was that?
Uh, I mean, they wasn't wrong.
There was a what?
They wasn't wrong. Um,
They weren't wrong about that.
no.
Hmm.
Um,
What age were you around when this started happening?
I was 13. after a while, I just do what he say and just get what I want.
So basically, it wasn't just free security. Basically, it was just I'll protect you, I'll listen to you, I'll give you what you want, and in return, there's a price to pay.
No, I wouldn't say it like that. Ooh, I wouldn't say it like that. I don't know how to put it as in that way. It would be um I don't know how to put it, cause it was more of treated, still was treated like a daughter.
No, we don't want to put. This is the thing, and that's why I tell you, whatever you don't feel comfortable talking about, it's best to not even go around it. Because if we're gonna, the whole reason we are here today is because of healing. That's number one reason. And there are things that we're gonna keep aside just because we're thinking we're doing the best thing to not talk about it, and that thing keep us up at night. It's like we keep thinking about it. We still don't know ourselves to the fullest because we're not completely healed. A father, I'm a father.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a daughter yet. I do have a son, but in the mindset of a daughter, I would never anticipate myself into doing something, even if it was not even my biological daughter, even if it was adoption or I happen to get with a woman who already has a child. We're gonna be as father daughter without you having to pay for security. And I understand you've been through a lot. There's basically nobody. You were basically trying to defend yourself the entire time. Nobody was willing to listen. Your mother wouldn't listen. As a matter of fact, instead of listening, she would beat you. Your brother again would be waiting there to beat you up. And it's understood. It's understandable to run to somebody because you thought that this person was providing you with security. And I understand. I understand where you're coming from. And how long that situation went on.
Uh, since I want to say probably since I turned 18.
So you went from 13 to 18?
Yeah, 18. I said I I quit. It just I was too grown now to have my own mind and thought where, couldn't nobody control of how I thought about the situation. Couldn't nobody control of my feelings then. It was just more of he taught me so much of, oh, don't let nobody control you, don't let nobody do this, but behind it you kinda doing the
Yeah,
same thing, manipulation. Like,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
it was more of, he tell me about guys. Oh, guys give you money. Don't take money. Don't let them call you pretty because you know you pretty. You know you beautiful. And then it's like, oh, well, come do this. What? You know. So then I'm like, then I got older where I was like, can't nobody control my mind. Like, I'm good. You taught me to be an independent woman. You taught me things that other people would do that you did. So you taught me this, but you showed me this. So
that's confusing because if you're gonna expect me to not do certain things, if you're gonna expect me to trust your process, but you're gonna turn around and abuse me on top of it for 5 years. This is a long time. And someone in the comments said you were a child. An adult knows what they were doing. Like, and unfortunately, and I know this is a difficult thing to talk about, but this is one of the problems. This is one of the things that usually happen to people. And it's worse to have to deal with it in a way to think that this person was your rescue, because that's what I'm troubled about. I'm like, okay, she's like, from the beginning of the story, you were saying things like, yeah, I finally find somebody who's able to listen to me, some security, he's gonna help me out. So this is my dad right now, blah 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 blah. And then by him snatching you from thinking that it's taking you away from all that, ended up doing the exact same thing. So between 13 to 18, it was the only abuser. Is that what we're getting to?
He wasn't the only one.
Hmm.
Between, I think it wasn't the only one. After a while of being sexually assaulted when I was younger, it kind of got more of, I started dating older guys
Yeah.
because of the older person. My preference more was older people, where at 16 I met an older person, and that older person wasn't right, where it was a female. It wasn't even a guy. It was more
Okay.
of a female, where that female had me go out to blind dates with her and with
Okay.
other guys. And with the other guys, I wouldn't want to do anything because I'm young. I'm just not me.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
not how I was raised. So when I didn't want to do nothing, she literally like made them do it either way. She made them force either way.
So, okay, that took another level. So, okay, you mean to tell me now, 16 years old, you started to understand things. You met a lady who was older than you, and you said she was forcing you to do things. What is it that she used to do as far as forcing?
More verbal control. I wouldn't say not. I mean non-verbal. Like she's just kind of like, oh, go on and suck, suck them all,
Yeah,
or
keep it PG-13. Go ahead.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. Go on and do this with him, and if you don't, I won't tell your mom, or it comes to the manipulation where if I didn't want to do it, she's like, girl, you gonna do it? Don't make me call your
Okay.
mama, kind of thing. And me
So
being
you
scared
were
of my
already
mom.
too deep. Yeah, you were already too deep in the things she would force you to do, to the point where at some point you couldn't leave.
Yeah,
She was basically
and
selling you to people.
right, right, right. And I didn't know that until I seen her get money from the guy one time, and I was like, "So what you doing?" And the guy kind of broke it. The guy broke it down to me when she had left to the store or whatever, and left me in the house with the guy. So then I kind of got smart enough to start asking questions like,
Yeah.
"How you know her?" He was like, "Oh, I know her for years. She give me some, and I give her a little cash, and break her off, and we be good." So I said, "So you been messing with her?" I don't, I'm not a person to be messing around with people behind people. So he was like, "Well, she just sold you to me," and he kind of started talking to me about what she do. She bring young girls over to guys' houses, and you
So
know,
you were getting pimped out.
yep, and without knowledge. And then, yeah, it was more like that.
Where did you meet that lady anyway?
I don't know where I met that lady. Oh, she was my friend that I went to school with, like one of my best
Mhm.
friends I went to school with. That was her mom. That was her mom's sister. So it was
Wow.
the girl auntie.
So okay, within that time, 16, you find yourself in the middle of you selling yourself without your knowledge, or you didn't really understand. I don't know. Um, Okay, now your stepdad basically been taking advantage of you from within that period as well, from 13 to 18. Who did you go to? When all of this stop? Like, because now that you realize that she was getting paid, while you were doing what you were being forced to do for free. Um, did you reach out to anybody?
No. Um. Then no, I kind of was just like on my own. Mom was in the room at the house most of the time. Either was drunk or high or more high. Or she was working she was working sometimes, but no, not really. And then when I was 16 and went to my auntie house because we moved to Fort Lauderdale, around no, we moved from Fort Lauderdale, and around that time we were just making friends, and I met a friend. Her name was she was 12, I was 16, and that's the only person I had then. But she was a little younger than me, so I couldn't express as much to her about the stuff I was going through. But she was a good listener. What if I had a concern, she'd let her mom tell me. But them being kind of from New York and Mexican, they didn't know of what goes on in Black culture houses.
Yeah, it was a little bit different. Cultural differences. I understand.
Yeah, so she was, I was just more like just staying to myself, keeping to myself, making friends. And one of my older brother, his that's a year older than me. Um, if I start crying, I know I hear just like hold me tight and tell me it's okay. I mean, I really didn't have no one else, but to me, just like everything was just bottled in. All this stuff, everything I took was just coming in, just kept it in and just held it in without telling anybody. Because when I did try to tell my mom about a guy trying to, kidnap me and stuff, and they thought it was a joke. Where she did call the police, and they thought it was a joke. They thought I was with a boyfriend or something, or uh, a guy, and they thought I was with a guy. And I was like, no, I wasn't. But the police like, oh, if you lying, you're gonna go to jail. So, me getting scared, I lied and was like, well, yeah, I was with a guy, and since ain't nobody gonna believe me, I was with a guy. I'm
You
just put
get to
like
a
that.
point where you don't even want to tell the truth anymore because every time you try, people not only do not want to listen, but when they finally listen, they beat you up for the wrong reason or threaten you to do something you're not supposed to do. So this is too much. Um,
It's a lot. That's why I said. That's
yeah,
why I came to you, because I seen your platform, and I just want to tell, even with the teenager girls and the teenage boys, like, and the young woman that's afraid to speak out, it's okay to speak out, because my family probably sitting here watching it too. I don't know, but they probably be like, "Wow, she actually admitted," and about my stepdad, and they never really knew it if I would never said nothing. Like, I'm not here to hurt anybody or put a shame on anybody behavior or lifestyle, or put wrong things on people's name. I don't want to draw hate to my mom. I don't want to draw hate to my family members. But it just took me what I'm tired of holding stuff in. I really want to express it. And this is why I say it's a lot. When I talk to you, it's a lot. I mean, it's not just like itsy bitsy. It's a full story. If I write a book, you people be like, wow. Cause it's a full story where, I had stuff done to me when I was younger, middle age, teenage age, where I literally could say I sat on the dude, put me on the corner after he got me high, put me on the corner to sell myself.
whoa,
Like,
whoa, whoa,
and
whoa,
then,
whoa,
yeah.
whoa. Okay, okay. Hey, give me just a second. Okay, so by the age of 8, you start noticing that your brother's taking advantage of you, all that crazy stuff. By 13, you thought that you'd find somebody to provide you with security, a rescue. That person again ended up taking advantage of you for 5 years. 16, within those 5 years that your stepdad was still taking advantage of you, um, you found a lady, and that lady was basically selling you to people. Um, okay, but okay, this is what I want to get to, especially for the stepdad thing. At 16, at this point, you understood that this is not what you want to do, right? Because he literally had nothing on you at this point, right?
Right.
But you decided to stop all of this at the age of 18. What happened at 18? That now you felt like, because a lot of kids have the idea by the age of 18 they are grown. So from that point, you're able to do things by yourself. What was the next step at 18?
I met a friend, my best friend. She still is my best friend. I met a friend that showed me different than what I was living. Even though she's black, she showed me that it was more of good to be independent with a single mom and everything. She went through some of the stuff I went through of being, molested and stuff like that. So we kind of connected on that. And then she showed me that, we could go to church, we could go to the clubs. She was driving her own car. We both was working at the same job and, having fun with each other. She kind of showed me the more of the independence of a woman's side that my mom kind of didn't explain to me. She showed me, but didn't explain to me the independence. And when I caught that friend, she was the one that was there for me, that showed me that. So when she showed me the independence of, working and what work can do for you when you working and, get a job and stuff like that, have money in your pocket and everything. So I guess kind of when I met her, everything changed. It's like, we went to the clubs, we were not, I got to know myself and not just know what's around me, opening my legs, laying on my back kind of thing. Just staying in the house, getting beat up or yelled at from different people, and being around family that's not all loyal to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
cause she had family, but she was more of like the only daughter. So she, her brothers are like really strict on her. She had the
Okay.
brothers that I wanted because they was
Yeah,
more
yeah,
protected. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
So she, it was, that was drawn us where we had a lot of more fun. I got to do things I want to do. I wanted to talk to guys that I wanted to talk to, or
Mhm.
got to
More
be
of a
the
respect
teenage.
level, not you being pushed into doing things that you weren't happy to do.
Yeah, and then that was the person I could actually talk to of what was going on in the house, that I
Okay.
felt comfortable of letting. Like she knows about my stepdad. Like,
Okay.
she knows all that. Like, she knows she's no surprise. But it just, that was the person I knew that I had to confine, that I could trust it. And then around 18, I did get pregnant. Partying too much, but I did get pregnant. One night stand. I met another friend girl. She was a little younger than me, and
Okay.
with that, huh?
I said okay.
With that friend girl, she brought the old roots back out. She kind of went on dating sites, sneak around her mama to go mess with guys.
Hmm.
Um, it went back to the manipulation. She didn't want to go by herself with the guys. So she was like, "Can you come with me? And I could tell my mom I stayed the night at your house and we'll go with the guys." So she used to do that like maybe 3 times a night, 3 times a week or something like that. She used to do it. And she never really wanted to like to do anything with the guys. So the way the guys gonna only bring us home is if they, get it in the butt. So, I'm like, girl, you gonna how you gonna get us up here and then you not gonna do nothing and then they won't take us home? So, me, I put out because I'm not finna be stranded because you don't want to do it. And these your people, I don't know these people. And it's like, it happened a couple times. She got us all the way, and she got us all the way to another city and get us stranded because she don't want to do nothing. Oh, I don't want to do it. I'm this. So I'm like, I'm gonna do it because I want to get home. So I do it, but we got stuck. Um, Lucky I had friends that I knew, guy friends that I knew that stayed in that city. They came and got us. Like, if I was like, hey, can you come get me? They came and got us and took us home because it happened a lot with her, and I consider her as being a friend. And that just stopped. Like, I stopped being with her friends last year because she did the same
Okay.
thing.
Okay, I understand. This is the thing. Throughout the entire time, you met somebody, you met a good friend, the friend that you said that you're still friends with till date, and she started showing you a different route. She started showing you to be independent. She started showing you that you have choices. You know what I mean? You don't have to be doing things with people you don't want to do. But with that friend, why exactly did you even entertain the idea to still be friend with that person, knowing that they were dragging you back to the old you or to the things that used to happen to
Um, because I met this friend in school, and I didn't know she was like that until I kind of actually started hanging around her. Like when I met her, was in school because she was getting bullied by other girls,
you? Okay.
and I ain't too calm with bullying. You know what I'm saying? And I seen she was younger, so I extended my help to help her, as in with the other people. When I got hanging around her, going to her house and stuff, and then she started showing me these little chat lines of with guys and stuff. I didn't, I thought it was cool on the chat line phone thing,
Yeah.
having fun with the guys. But when she started actually meeting with them,
Hmm.
I was, oh my gosh, here we go again. That's, first thing was like, oh my gosh, here we go again. But then it came to me being a protective of a sister and a friend. If you need me and being loyal to you, I'm here. I got you. I go with you. Yeah, I got you. I got your back. Don't worry, I got your back.
So you were
Ain't
trying
nothing
to
gonna
be
happen.
the sister that you didn't have,
Yeah.
and then that person basically at some point when you didn't think she was that kind of person, and then realized she was worse than
Using
what you
me.
thought.
Yeah.
When did you decide to put a stop on that? After the second time?
No, the first time I stopped it was I want to say in 2000, and my daughter was 12. So about like probably 2011, I
Okay.
stopped it. And 2011, I was what, 20?
Okay.
Um, because I was just getting older, and it wasn't for me. Little girl, if you, like I was like, little girl, if you want to keep doing this, you're gonna do it by yourself.
Yeah.
After a
Yeah.
while, it wasn't for me. I was meeting people that was way worth it, like guys, way worth it, dating guys, playing, semi-pro football, meeting guys that's, doctors and nurses and, bodyguards and security. I was meeting top-notch people where I thought, you meeting these low class people for what? I don't want these nonchalant Negroes. I want somebody that's gonna put. Then I had a son. Around 2018, I had a 2019, I had a son. So,
Okay.
I had a 1 year old. Then to think about around 2011. So, I'm thinking about him. I got a son. I ain't finna be just hopping, skipping when you say it. Cause one time she tried it. Oh, just take your baby with you, or take him with us, and this and that. No, I'm not finna take my baby with us. girl, I don't know no mans, and they don't know me. Then they come to the motherhood issues where I was just, thinking motherhood. So I wasn't with trying to bring my kid around different guys. I wasn't with, different guys around my kid because the background I know,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know
yeah.
it's a boy. I know he's a boy, but people don't
People are crazy.
discriminate.
People, yeah. Just for
People don't.
security wise, you don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was already gangster, so it's like I would have probably killed somebody because I already psycho. Like back then, I used to grab knives when I fight. Like I seen that fist wasn't doing nothing, so I used to grab my knife. Like I threw a knife at my sister and cut her finger because she ran. We was fighting in the house and she ran. So I grabbed the knife and she ran. I threw it and sliced her knuckle. After a while, I
Mm.
started using knives and using weapons to protect myself when I got older. Like around
Okay.
18, 18 and I'm gonna say 16 and 18. That's when I started using knives in the house to protect myself from my brother and sister fighting.
Mm.
Yeah, I pull a knife quick. But that's even with guys, I kept knives in my in my purse
Yeah, because
because
after being abused so many times, you don't want the same thing to keep happening again.
yeah I
You don't
don't
want the
I
same.
didn't I didn't and that's why it was the more of the fact well I won't go carry a knife like I literally I have a knife under my bed. I have a knife under my couch like till this day I still do it because it just that was my my daughter just pulled a knife out of her bag. Yeah, we're gonna talk about her issues too. But yeah, my 14-year-old, 15-year-old she just showed me the knife she got in her bed. But it just that was my protection. Yeah, she got she is a foster
Yeah.
child. So yeah,
Um.
I want to talk about foster kids too. Like it's so much because I have a foster child, and this is the reason I talk, want to express it because she did come out of the foster system and dealt with stuff that I don't know of. But I wanted to show her that it's okay to express. Like she hear me, like she's in the room with me listening to all this. So it's nothing that I'm not ashamed to share. Like I I know people like, you're ashamed of just you're not ashamed of nothing, you just exploring yourself. I want to because I want to show people that it's okay to not to be ashamed and to not think about what everybody else think about you. And that's why I tell everybody, I don't care what you think about me. Cause I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna live my life. I pay my bills. I take care of my kids. I'm a good mother, and I know how to keep my head up, and pray to my God. So I'm not gonna be ashamed. Cause if God
No,
ain't ashamed of me, then I shouldn't be ashamed of myself.
you've been through a lot. You've been through a lot. Like some unbreakable and uplifting. Unbreakable and uplifting said, "You were groomed to always live in fear. This is the only thing you know. That's the only thing
Yes.
you know. That's basically." And she also said, "Oh, Paige says hello. Hey, Paige, how's it going? Welcome back. Thanks for being here." Uplifting said, "You had every right to speak up the truth. If somebody wanted you to speak kindly about them, they should have treated you better." So whatever, let me tell you something. Any action bring an equal reaction. From the time that you are being molested, sexually abused, dealing with a bunch of stuff that at some point you did not know the effect that was going to take place in your life, all those things, the fact that you never even talked about them, because now we live right now, and you are saying things that a lot of people never even knew, things that people probably were guessing, but they didn't have any idea as far as what you were going through. And that's totally understandable because that's basically what it is in most cases. People see somebody, physically speaking, she's smiling, she's beautiful. She's standing straight. You know what I mean? Everything's perfect. But in reality, when you start sitting next to that person and feeling the vibration and understand the things that they are reacting to, the person they are, you have to go deep down where they came from. What's making the person that you thought, like, I don't know, just because she looked good, doesn't have any mental issues, why is that person sleeping with a knife under a pillow? The reason for that is because she's trying to protect herself. Every time she trusts somebody to protect her, she can find that protection. Therefore, she's going to provide it to herself. And I'm glad that you mentioned your foster daughter. We're probably going to have to do a separate live for that because it's important to break the cycle. It's important to break it from the time that your daughter is young. By the time she becomes a woman, not only she understand the level of being independent, but also to depend on somebody who she could trust. Because
Mm-hmm.
being independent is one thing, knowing who to depend to is another thing. Because sometimes just because you are a fighter doesn't mean that you can take breaks. Because if you're gonna keep fighting, which is exactly what you've been going through, all you've been doing is fighting. Yeah, if you made a lot of mistakes from the things that you've already dealt with. You wanting to be with older men is because you started with people who've been older than you. That's totally
Mm-hmm.
understandable. That's why you have to keep protecting a child's. When you have a child, you have to keep protecting their environment. It is your job to make sure that the environment is safe because people are gonna try to do things. That's why
Right.
that's why God gave you both a man and a woman as as parents, a woman and a parents. Let me just rephrase that. That's why God gave you parents. And they give you just one, give you two, because they understand the amount of work that needs to be done.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when things like that happen, it's difficult to understand that some of those people didn't even know the importance of the job that we're supposed to do. So, okay, you're 20 now. You realize that okay, there are a lot of things that already have already happened. You have kids on your own. Um, Now that you're 20, what's the new step? Have you ever thought about okay, maybe I need to start healing. Maybe I need to start unpack the things. At that point, you didn't think about anything like that.
No, at 20, it was more of still kind of going out with the girls. Um, Son at home with my sister and my mom. If my mom was home, mostly mom was at the club. Um, Going out with going out with cousins, family members, cookouts and stuff. It was mostly just like, and I was working, so it was just mostly just dealing with home. At home, it was I really home and going out and son and still fighting and arguing with my sister. Oh, you don't take care of your son. Oh, you don't take care. You don't buy him wipes, and we still fighting and stuff.
So
We
I'm
it was
assuming nobody in the house ever addressed the issues that went with your dad, with your stepdad, with the pressure, the constant pressure that's been in the house. Everybody's still walking around like nothing happened. Nobody's healed. The house is completely a mess. It's a broken home. Now you have a baby who actually is brought to the table, and it's still the same thing while you're just trying to, live your life. Is that what it is?
Yep, it's still the same thing. My older brother, he moved because he around the age of 16, he got him and my stepdad fought. Like him and my stepdad like really bumped heads, fought. Like
Okay.
so, at the age of 16, he left the house. So, he haven't lived with my mom since then. But he
Mm.
still comes like every
Yeah, yeah. Come
weekend
visit.
or yeah, every day, every weekend. He's still there, just not physically in the house.
Okay.
So he still used to run. Oh, y'all better help mom pay the bills, and y'all better do this. And you know me, I'm like, I'm older, like, I ain't finna do nothing. You don't stay here, get out of the house. Like, I don't care you, I ain't gotta listen to you. And we kind of still arguing back and forth. Around the time then, it wasn't me moving forward, it was just me trying to get quick money. So, I met a drug dealer. Well, I was helping him sell drugs,
Whoa.
just for my happiness. I was helping him, but it wasn't abuse. It was just more of um messing around, helping him,
Okay.
and have friend kind of thing.
Okay.
Um, and then it was me prostituting myself, for money for my son diapers, and cause that's all I knew was like, you know, if a dude ride up on me and like, hey cutie, da da da, I'm gonna talk you know, a little stuff to you, and I'm not gonna be nice about it. I'm gonna be like, don't be calling me this. And they're like, oh, I'm like, thank you though, how you doing? And they're like, oh, you wanna ride? I might do, but I don't get in rides, get in cars for free kind of thing. So it wasn't like, anybody forcing me. Then it was just like I already, doing stuff I already knew, and stuff I already knew was to go out there, and get money off the street with the guys. I would say I met a lot of people that taught me, it was like, I don't know why you do this. You're so pretty, you're so gorgeous, and you should be this, you should be doing this with your life. I was like, well, I had that dream. Then I had a son. I wanted to go to college. I wanted to have a high school sweetheart. I didn't get to go to prom. I didn't get to go to homecoming because around the time I was working and pregnant. So my first son, I was at school and I was working. So it's like I go to school and get right off school and go right to work and then come home. So it was like, and then mom still, oh, you got to pay the water bill, so I had stuff I had to still do. And it kept going. So as in she still be, yelling at us about paying the bills while she's sitting in the house doing nothing. We gotta, go extra hard. Like then it was just my brother that's older than me and my little sister that's younger than me in the house. Around the time of me being 18, my stepdad moved to South Florida. So he had my little brother with him. So they moved to South Florida. So, they hauled butt from my mom. So then, my mom started getting lazy, and then she after a while I started yelling at her because she kept making me do dishes. Oh, you gotta do the kitchen. You gotta do the kitchen. I'm like, Mom, we got a house full of people, and why I'm the only person that's cleaning up? Like, it was more of like, I gotta work, I gotta pay the bills, I gotta clean up the house, while everybody else just run rapidly free because of my son that's in the house. Just because I have a son, I have to clean up after everybody else.
Where was your son's father around that time? Why you guys did not work
Um,
things out to the point of, taking you out of that situation? Because the what I'm listening
not
to is not only that you got abused, but you felt comfortable from being abused so many times to do the things that you had to do to support everybody. That's what I'm hearing right
right, but no, his dad wasn't there because I didn't know who his biological father was at the time. Around I was 18, come from the club, I want to say he was texting me. He was texting me because he slept with my friend, the one little fast little girl. He slept with her first, and like I said, I don't sleep behind females. I don't lay behind other females. If you lay with a guy, I don't go behind you.
now.
But
Okay.
he didn't like her, and that was one of the blind date things that she hooked up, and he didn't like her at the blind date, so he liked me and kept trying to talk to me, and I'm like, no, because I don't sleep behind people,
Okay.
and
Okay.
it took him literally like 3 months, literally 3 months to like wait for me to be at least a vulnerable woman. And when I came from the club, he got that vulnerable person where, we had that one night stand, and found out I was pregnant. And then
Mm.
he tried to make me have an abortion when I was 18. I told him no, because God said we do not kill kids. And like me being a church girl, I'm not finna kill a kid because God said I go to hell for it, and I'm not going to hell because you want me to kill a kid. I'm
Mm.
not doing it. So he called me all the names out of the Bible, out of the book. B, you dumb, you dummy, you a dumb, bitch, you dumb. And I'm like, for what? You killing the child? Because I guess he had a girlfriend or something. I don't know. And he was older. He was like trying to make me do it. He do it every other female. From what I heard now, is he get girls that get them money and have abortion. I I don't I don't agree with it. So I'm happy to have my son. So I don't agree with abortion. I think God told us that, even if it's an accident, I don't know, but I don't I don't agree with abortions. God loves the children and children all the world. It's how I see it. So either way, a blessing of a child is a blessing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
But it
absolutely.
was just to the point where his father is here. He stayed with his father. He stayed with his father when they removed the children from me in 2017. He been with
Mhm.
his father. So he's now with his father on his birthday. So yeah, he stayed with his father now. So that was a great idea. But before I didn't know who his dad was, so I was just more of the single parent, trying to make sure to keep my son afloat, and still out there was searching for his dad because I did go to the dude house, his mom house, and wrote a letter. It's like, hey, I think this is your son. Can you see if we can get a DNA test and talk about it? And I gave him my phone number and then was walking down the street and he seen us. He picked me up and then we talked about a DNA test and then we took the DNA test. He gave me the money. I spent the money, so I never found out who was that until
Mm.
later on.
Okay, okay. I'm glad that you were able to find who your son's father is. So okay, 20. You find yourself taking care of everybody at home. The same people basically did not provide you with any type of security and everything. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you now?
I'm 30.
Okay, 20, 10 years apart. When did you wake up one day and realize that you not only dealt with a lot of things, but you also made a lot of mistakes yourself? When did you wake up? It's like, you know what? I want to not only unpack everything that have happened to me, but also change my life. When you made that decision?
29 last year. When they
Oh,
gave me custody back with my kids after a domestic violence relationship. Um, they took my kids from me and my ex. And I went 3 years fighting for them, even with my dad dying, my brother killing himself and his girlfriend, um, my people passing away, my son's grandma passing through COVID, and stuff
wow.
like that. Last year it took hard, them couple years of separation from my kids, where I kind of realized I gotta buckle down because one of my kids knew me from because me trying to commit suicide 3 times. I mean, I guess God told me I wasn't ready to go. If I was ready to go, I would have went at the age of 14 when I got hit by the car. Um, so it's a lot. It just last year kind of brought me to a brightness of going to therapy and going to counseling and going to like the NA meetings and talking to different people that's could give me that advice and having my best friend as the support of my church
Mhm.
lady,
Okay.
and then actually going to my pastor and sitting down and talk to my pastor and his wife about stuff and kind of just opening more about me and stop hiding behind myself with others. I They taught me that it's okay, love yourself. And when I started loving myself and I got my kids back and I got my happiness, it's just like now I gotta achieve better. I mean, now I gotta push for better. And it went to a brightness where, I mean, I got a foster daughter that's my youngest son's older sister as a plus one. So when I got hurt, it was just like I get a reward too. I didn't put that much work, but I got a reward for not doing, doing what I supposed to, and not doing what other people wanted me to do.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's when I just kind of learned to do that. Do what I want to do and stop doing what other people want you to do. Stop worrying about what people think about you. Because a lot of people used to like, oh, girl, you on Facebook tucking your booty. You on this, doing this. I like to dance. I mean, I got a big boom boom, but I like to dance. So I'm going to use what God gave me. But I just stopped thinking about what other people, think about me and just start loving myself. And if I want to express myself the way I want to express it, then bump it. I'm gonna do it. And if I hurt somebody's feelings, oh well, because they didn't care about when it was hurting my feelings. They didn't care about, talking bad about me instead of just uplifting me. So it just when all that started getting in my head and how to cope in the house by myself, like my therapist say, it's coping exercise, is no breathing technique, is humbling yourself, using the I statement instead of pointing your fingers at them, you still got three pointing back at you. So how about
mm-hmm.
I made this mistake in my life. I should have stopped this relationship from my kids getting taken. You know, I should have stopped the first time when my son punched my daughter in the face. Stuff like that. It's like, I'm the fault of this. I did this. I started using more of the I statement in my coping and,
Yeah,
using different techniques that they teach me that now it's just like I'm kind of like I'm numb. Like I ain't like numb. I still feel. I still cry, but I express it more than just like trying to hold it in.
yeah.
Like
It's gonna take a while for you to, because the healing process. The more you're gonna talk, the more you're gonna find other people that are with you. Paige says you're a beautiful person, Jamaica. Thanks for sharing your story. You see,
thank
things like that gonna make you understand how important it is. And the other thing that I also want you to understand as well, because accountability is one of the things that you're going to need within your healing process as well. Because there are other things that have actually happened that were pushed to you, but at some point, there are some mistakes that you also made yourself. You understand where I'm coming
mm,
from? And those
mm,
mistakes, they are not going to go away until you have a conversation with yourself. Okay, I did
right.
this, I did that, I did this, I did that. I understand that I wasn't supposed to do this. Let me try to become a better person for tomorrow. Let me try to become a better person for my kids. Let me try to break that cycle where they don't have to become or do anything that I've done in my life by the time they get older. You mentioned
See,
something
but
about your daughter.
one thing I always say, I will never say I would try. Because they always tell me you claim it, you own it. So one
That's
thing
it.
I always say, I will make a better change for my kids. I will make a change for my kids. I will make a better life for them to not go through what I've been through. And that's
That's
why
it.
I kind of keep a mindset that I do is because everybody can say, oh, I try to do this. Yeah, you try to lay on your butt too, and you still do it, don't you? So it's just like now it's like when like if you're looking for a job, like, oh, I got this job and I get it. So it's just like I know I will change, and I did. I found a better job that pays like a lot of money now, and now I found a better job for my kids. Now I got my kids back, so I could make a change for them. I told her I was gonna get her nails done. I went to go get her nails done. It's like everything I do is like I hate to tell my kids, oh, I'm gonna try to do it. No, you can't do it. I can't do it. You can do it. Anything you do in your life, you could do it. If you put your
That's it.
mind and your heart and your brain, like everything, your capacity to do it, you could do it. Like I said, I will probably would never talk about what I told. Remember, I said I wouldn't even talk about my stepdaddy, but I changed. I opened my mouth and I was like, I am gonna do it. I will change. I want to speak on it and I will talk about it. And even if it's a little bit about it, I still want to talk about it, and I did it. And that's what it's like. I don't want to try nothing. I tell my kids, don't try it. You ain't trying. You accomplishing. You're gonna do it. You're gonna push
Yeah.
yourself where ain't no more pushing. I push myself to get my kids back because won't nobody else gonna push me but me, and I got them back, and I'm still pushing to make sure I succeed in their lives and make sure she happy or they happy, or make sure I see a smile on their face when they wake up in the morning. So it's just like yeah, I can't say I try. I always say I do it, and I will, because if
That's
I
good.
claim it, I own it.
That's good. That's perfect. That's the best way to do it. I'm definitely glad that you not only and a lot of people you see, and I'm glad that you're not only understanding that you've been through a lot. There are people that have done things to you. You understand the power of your voice. Most importantly, you are willing to keep working on yourself.
Yes.
Um, we have Marina. Marina is one of the next lives that we're gonna have. She said, "Thank you so much for being so open and sharing your story.
Oh,
It
thank
feels
you.
beautiful to know I'm not alone. Seeing you come up front from it all, it's inspiring too. You are an amazing woman." So there are a lot of
Thank
people.
you.
That's why we
I
do
mean,
what we
thank
do
you.
here.
It it's best. I mean, it's best to express it, because if you don't, it just gonna, like you say, it haunt you inside, and then I mean, I would like to see more stories of people opening up, because I'm tired of seeing reality TV shows showing bits and parts of people's stories and lives. How about they show the actual reality? Like, I'm sorry to bring it into it, but I know Kenya Moore. Like, I felt her. I felt her pain when she said, she had to go through with her husband or whatever, and the abuse that she was getting. Stuff like they parenting and stuff. It was like I felt some of the stuff they say. Like, I hear on reality TV, it's like they showed the itty bitty cuts of people's lives, but not the under wraps of people's lives. I'm tired of living under wraps. Like, I want to express it. And I want to get other people the courage, to express themselves, because under wrap stuff. I mean, what comes in the dark always comes to the light. So
Yeah.
that was Maria. I thank you very much, and I mean, if you allow me, I would love to do more broadcasts.
Oh no,
For
no,
more
we have
people
to
to
bring the
come
kids. The story's not over yet. I'm gonna tell you that.
out.
The story's not
It's a
over
part
yet.
two
We're gonna
coming.
Yeah, part two coming. That's a known fact. The story's not over yet. I'm totally sorry over the people that left us.
My stand up now. Okay,
You're fine.
my stand messing up now.
Oh,
Okay, I'm
okay.
good. I'm good.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have a part two. At that time, we're probably gonna be doing it. This is something we plan on doing. Not just Peace, Love, Happiness 101, but we're also probably gonna do it with Unbreakable and Uplifting. Because a lot of people feel a bit skeptical and unwilling to open up about the things that you yourself were able to open up today about, because it's difficult, especially when it involves family members, people that we know, people that we still see every day. Sometimes it's difficult to just say things because you don't want to feel some type of way about it. But like Unbreakable and Uplifting said, if somebody wanted you to talk kindly about them, they should have treated you back. That's what it
Right,
is. If you wanted me to say that around the age of 15, around the age of 18, around the age of 8, you were my protector, you should have been the security I needed. That's all
treat
it
you
is.
get treat, you get treated like you want to be treated.
Karma is a B word. Karma is a B word. If you were a B word, karma is gonna be a B word back to you. That's all it is. There's no other way around it. Whatever you do comes back to you. And if you wanted to have that I don't know superior level of when it comes to things that have happened to my life, you should have done better. That's all it is. And we're definitely gonna have another live with you, especially with the kids, because the one thing I do not want the kids to grow up is with that being in fear mentality as well. I do not. I
Right,
really want you to, understand the process of them not living that life. I don't want them to think, you know, I have to run to somebody in order for me to feel safe. The only person you need to run to is yourself. If you are not being, if you're not feeling safe, the position that you're at, the only person who's going to help you is yourself by opening up to a certain level, as far as you finding closure within yourself. If your parents are not doing that for you, this become a big problem. You know what I mean? And that's why,
Right.
as a mother, I want you to make sure that they understand. They don't have to be doing the same protocols, the same things that you've dealt with because you are there for them. That's the entire
Right.
mind.
And that's why, and that's what reason more of why I wanted to speak out more and try to do a domestic violence awareness month event, because speaking out more would show even her while she's listening, that it's okay to speak out even to your parents. Like, I know I am a parent, and I know that now I'm getting older, that I do have to listen, to the kids and understand where they're coming from, because some of the things they might be saying, might actually be happening, and don't need to be overlooked, because I'm not here to overlook the things that you're speaking. I'm here to
Hmm.
help you, give you advice, and give your friend to listen and understand that anything that you need, I'm here. I could be that shoulder. I could be that
Yeah.
support. I could be that security. I could be, I will be there for you. Like, if you just if they anybody open and share with your parents or anything, like, even though they might not show the interest, they there. Like, as long as you have a parent that actually sit there and listen, they're gonna listen and do what they gotta do. Like, and that's why I try to tell her and tell my daughter and my son and everybody, my nieces and nephews, like, I'm here if you need a parent. Like,
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
have a little I had a little cousin that came to me and told me that his dad beat on him because he came out the closet, and
Ooh.
his parents didn't like the choice that he made, because his mom's a police officer, and she tried to keep things in the household, where
Yeah.
in the household is not where it's at, because he don't feel safe. So
It
he
doesn't
came to
feel
his
safe.
his cousin said, "Cousin, I need to talk to you." And I was there, and the person there to listen to him and try to ask him why he did that. How do you feel about yourself? Like, how do you feel? Try to understand their feelings, so I could try to help them cope with stuff that they're dealing with, that I didn't have that person, to do. And make sure they safe. And I'm really, my stepdaughter always tell me I'm protective. I really am. I'm really protective over kids, because kids don't ask to be here. They ask to be here to be loved, cherished,
Yeah. Yeah.
secure, and make sure they have a happiness in their life and a family, a roof over their head, and food. They didn't ask for none of this other stuff that they getting, and that's why I wanted to be on here, because it's a lot. And I mean, I don't mind expressing. I like to talk. I might be rumbling, but I like to talk. Like, I like to talk about stuff that's actually true, because the things I
Yep.
see is the things I want to talk about. Like, I don't never get to do this, and now I got my opportunity. I want to express it. I want to open. Like,
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
y'all just open a can of worms, and my can of worms go give you all the sweet flavor. But yeah, and make you laugh. I'm just saying
And
though.
make
But
hey, hey, we're gonna share some laughs. I'm glad that you're not only healing yourself, but you are positioning yourself as a security spot, as a rescue for other kids in your family that are trying to find that safety while you're
mhm,
teaching them and helping them understand. And one thing I also want you to do for them, help them understand the process of healing. Trying to find the same way that you're healing yourself, don't just let them deal with the problem or make them feel safe about it. Because
right,
one of the reasons why you've dealt with so much and you ended up doing certain things that you did is because you never understood the principles behind healing. Now that you're getting to that, you're gonna free yourself from a lot of things. Those things
right,
are not going to be demons. They're not going to be baggages anymore because you're going to free yourself from all that. Think about think about another boy. Think about another girl. Think about somebody else who's been dealing with the same thing. You know what I mean? Help them understand the process. Don't have them wait another 10, 15, 30 years to understand that, yo, I have to start healing now. Start introducing the healing process to them as early as possible so they could take advantage of it. You understand?
right. And that's the thing I always taught myself, because without that healing, it's hard, because I think I healed myself even with my stepdad situation, because of when I was 18, I called it quits, and I literally talked to him about it. And now that I'm older, I do feel comfortable, and I did feel comfortable after we had that talk about it. It's just a father and daughter relationship, and my dad passed away, so my kids need a grandfather to actually be a grandfather. So
Hmm.
he has been a great grandfather. He brought my kids some toys for Christmas and stuff. So we kind of bringing, how am I say, we memorizing our bond of the father and daughter should have started.
Yeah.
And now I got somewhat of that back for my kids. So it's like I
Okay.
had to, you know, forgive him. I don't want to say forget, but I had to forgive him and myself that the stuff that I did put myself through. I did have my own mind of thinking that I could have just said no, or I could have just not went in that room. I could have just stayed in my room, or I could have did this, or I couldn't, and I should have stayed home instead of going to the store with him, kind of thing. So it's like, it wasn't, now I'm sitting thinking, it's just like, I forgive myself because some of the stuff, yeah, I did have a mind, but my mind was still being
Yeah.
controlled by
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But some
Yeah.
of the time, my mind was just like from the hormones, my hormone was kicking. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, but it was now it's just like, it's okay. Let it out,
Let it
forgive,
out. Let it out.
forgive you, but don't forget. But it's better if you
Yeah.
forget while speaking about it, letting it out instead of just like holding it in and want to forget. Because holding it in and forgetting is not actually forgetting. You just like
That's true.
bottling it up.
That's true. The next live, I think we're gonna call it "How My Childhood and Relationship Abuse Affect My Kids." Something where we could bring the kids in. You know what I mean? The ones that are able to talk, they could express themselves before you as well. The things that you've also dealt with as far as being a mother, the age of 18, not knowing what's going on. You are mentally dragged by a bunch of stuff that you don't know anything about. Um, Being 30 now, that you're still trying to heal yourself, you're within the process. You started the process of healing. You know what I mean? It's gonna take a while because of the amount of things that you've been dealing with. It's gonna take a while. Do not rush the process. What you what you're feeling today and what you're gonna feel next year is gonna be completely different. The more you trust the process, the better you're gonna feel about yourself. The more relief you're gonna get, and the more you're gonna be able to help other people. So the next live, basically, it's important that we put the words into what happened to the kids, how that has affected the kids in ways that you didn't think was possible. Let me see if we have any questions or any comments because we're about to wrap this up. As a conclusion, Jamaica, what you want to say to everybody watching?
I would say it's okay to see the flaws in yourself. It's okay to see the flaws in others. Just make sure you kind of love yourself first before you try to open yourself to love others. And please don't let abused faces and loved ones let different faces influence you to things that isn't right, that that will hurt you in the long run. Kind of keep pushing, keep your head up, look past all the negative and keep positive. That we are strong people, we are strong Black people, we are strong any color people, we are women, we are men, we all are strong. God got us, and it's okay to open to someone that or just open up and tell your story, because telling stories can help others. And I'm here. If you need me, I'm here. And it's
We're
okay
gonna
to have a friend that's here.
we're gonna definitely get back to some of the things that we talked about, especially if you're gonna bring the kids. I totally agree with everything that you said. Being willing and able to open up is one of the first steps. In order for others to help you, we have to know your story. In order for you to realize you are not alone, you have to be willing to tell your story. In order for us to hear your story, you have to be open to use your voice. Without
Right.
that, all of the things that you've dealt with, because if you didn't express that to us today, we'll never know anything. You could have come here and hide everything, and at some point you would feel like, I came into the life, I didn't release anything. Why? What happened? It's because a lot of people think without honesty, they're gonna still get to the point where they need to start healing. Without honesty, without understanding how important it is to open up, nothing is gonna happen. So we have a few lives. I'm going next weekend. I'm definitely trying to see if we could squeeze the next live as early as possible because I'm trying to manage things in an orderly fashion. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
definitely gonna stay in touch with you as far as telling you when the next live is gonna be, and within that time we could crunch the ideas behind everything that come together, including the kids and where the healing process is at that point. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much for doing this. I'm sure
Thank you,
that
guys.
a lot of we had some good love. I'm showing here. We have Unbreakable. We have Paige. We had Marina. We had a few folks here showing you love. Understand that you're loved. Understand that you are appreciated. Understand that you're on the right path to becoming a complete brand new woman, despite everything that have happened to you. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your Sunday, and thanks again. Okay.
Bye, sis. I love you. Thank you for watching.
I was like, peace.